Hi, I'm Tony Schrader, Chairman of the Putnam County Republican Party, here in Ottawa today, and glad to be joining you with a new guest based on some of the circumstances changing in the state legislative districts. Very glad to be with Roy Klopfenstein today, the Putnam County Commissioner and candidate for the Ohio 82nd House District. Putnam County, as a result of the political realignments, at least we think it will be, is going to be part of the new 82nd District, which is going to encompass Van Wert County, Paulding County, all of Putnam County, and half of Defiance County. And Roy's been in service a long time in Paulding County. We wanted to introduce you to him today, and we'll just do this as the first of a series of videos coming up. So I know a bit about you already, but not as much as they're about to find out. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Thanks, Tony. Good to be here today. A little bit about myself, and that's not always the funnest thing to talk about, but the fun part about it is I'm the youngest of 5 children, 2 older brothers, 2 older sisters, and grew up in a farm just west of Haviland. Now, for those of you that are geographically challenged at time, Haviland is straight west of Ottawa, and grew up there in a family farm. Went to school, had a little bit of college after school, and started farming with a dad and older brother. Mm-hmm. Been in business for 40-some years. Wow. I don't know where that time went.
You don't look old enough for that, Roy. So
I started about 9 when I could just push the pedal on the 40-20.
I know a lot of people in Putnam County have shared that experience, as have I. So.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the safest, but we made it happen. So grew up on the family farm, and have lived and back on the family farm now with my wife, and we had 4 boys. The youngest is now 25 or 26. The oldest 31. 2 of them are married. 2 terrific daughter-in-laws. 2 grandsons, and 1 more on the way. So that's breaking news.
We just learned about that this morning. That's great.
I didn't realize how fun grandchildren are, but it's pretty awesome. But anyways, grew up in the farm. Raised the kids on the farm, active in 4-H, spent a lot of time serving in 4-H advisory committee, both at the local level and in Columbus, a part of the university. But mainly just grew up on the farm, active in local boards and committees, and about 10 years ago, received a phone call and said, hey, we have an open commissioner seat. Mm-hmm. It's time you step up.
That's great.
So in that process, we said, okay, we'll do our civic duty, we'll go serve a term. Mm-hmm. Well, that was 2 terms ago. We're now on the 3rd term, right. And thoroughly enjoy serving, and serving from the standpoint of I want to protect, preserve our community, and give the same opportunity to my grandkids, your grandkids, our children.
That's awesome.
We have so many good things, and I'll be the first to admit, I take a lot of things for granted, because I just think everyone lives in the kind of community we live in.
That's right.
And they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't, and it's worth protecting, it's worth preserving, and I've enjoyed serving as a county commissioner. It's not without frustrations, but occasionally farming is frustrating. But
more than a little of that in farming.
Well, we've never starved, so we're always we've always been blessed there.
You've got that working out for you.
That has been enjoyable. And when people ask, Roy, where do you work? And my normal answer is I don't work, because I thoroughly enjoy what I do, whether it's on the farm or whether it's being county commissioner. Mm-hmm. I enjoy serving the people. I would like to make everyone happy. I know that's not quite possible.
Doesn't always work that way, does it?
I didn't make my kids always happy raising them.
Sure.
So sometimes you just got to say no.
You've got that experience. Well, that leads into the what I told you would be the $1 million question I was going to ask you today, and the one I asked you the first time we met when you were preparing to enter this race, and that is, why do you want to go to Columbus to represent the 82nd District? What is it that's motivating you to make this run?
Well, much the same way as the commissioner job, I got some phone calls. Mm-hmm. It was never a goal or a desire to go to Columbus. Mm-hmm. But having said that, I think we each have a civic duty that if that opportunity happens and we have the ability to serve and maybe have the experience, being county commissioner, a businessman, that's an important part of it. my goal of going there is I'm a representative.
Mhm.
I want to represent the people of our district. And part of that is so important to me is protecting, preserving not only our lifestyle, but our schools, our churches, our families, the values that really I take for granted. And I said that before, some of the things I grew up with and take for granted, they're not everywhere.
That's right.
And we need to protect and maybe push back and say, hey, your big city values, you can keep them.
That's right.
We'll take our Northwest Ohio values and we'll run with it. And at the end of the day, I think we're better off. And so my goal, I think less government typically is better government.
Right.
And we don't need to be overregulated. This past year and a half with, I even hesitate to call it a pandemic, it was a serious issue, but we could have handled it much better locally without those higher up telling us what to do.
What we had to do, exactly.
And I think the relationship between a doctor and a patient, I would have much rather had advice from my doctor how to handle that situation.
Right.
Than somebody in Columbus
Authorities.
or DC.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
right.
but the overriding thought to me is, I love my community. I love Northwest Ohio. My goal would be to have all our family back here someday, living, working.
Awesome.
There's been some incredible stories shared with me where, families of 5, 6, 7 kids, and they're all local, working. Does it get any better?
No, that's phenomenal. And I won't put you on the spot today because we're going to be doing these as a series of videos, so I won't make you name your favorite county. But we know how much you love Putnam County, even though you're from that other county to the west. So that's
it's sort of interesting, though, being in business 40 years, we do business in Van Wert, Putnam,
right.
and Defiance
all
County.
across the district.
We do it all across the district, and I like to say, and I won't call out any of those implement dealers, but they get in my pocket.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's okay.
So you're already a man of the entire district, as it turns out.
I am contributing to your tax.
There you go.
So-
That's excellent all the way around. So.
But it's been a great relationship, and at the end of the day, it is the relationship. It'll be the relationship of me representing you. And that was one of the things, too, that I thought a lot about when I was considering running. And in the purest sense to me, I represent the people here. Do the people here have the values that I'm comfortable representing?
Sure.
And they do.
Yes.
I'm somewhat passionate about what we have here. And the people here are just, I don't want to say we're unique, but we are unique.
It sure feels like that. And if you get around Ohio as much as I do, you notice it. Yeah.
It's in talking to other commissioners from other areas, we all have similar issues. But our ability here to help each other and to manage those, it's a tough place to be. I don't want to brag and say we're the best area in Northwest Ohio or in Ohio, but we are.
And I'll take that up because I do that all the time. So that's actually the case. So
great place to live.
It is indeed. Well, this is a great intro. We're looking forward to doing a series of these with you. We'll have you back in front of the camera again soon, and would recommend to folks go follow Roy's social media, which is set up. He's got a Facebook page up already.
Facebook page and a web page, and we'll
both up.
Try to keep it updated. I'm not a social media guru, and I tend to just go out and get things done, and I would really prefer to do everything under the radar.
There you go.
And I'm told that's not
how it works.
That's not how it works. So.
So great seeing you today. We'll look forward to the next one, and we'll see you next time.